the nose, kind of allowing that back lower portion of the rib cage to expand. And then as you exhale, big heavy sigh through the mouth. So really just taking a couple of moments to settle in here. You can take the knees a little bit wider, bring the big toes together, and turn your head to either side or rest your forehead on your hands if that feels good for you. And just begin to deepen the breath. Kind of imagining the breath moving up the back body as you inhale. And as you exhale, releasing the breath from the front body. And then we also want to move the breath low into the belly. So this is going to allow us to kind of check in with that relaxation breathing. Kind of sending those relaxation signals to the brain, allowing us to bring in a sense of peace and calm into our bodies and our minds as we come to our mats this afternoon. So breathe at a rate and a depth that feels comfortable to you and available to you this afternoon. Remembering that everything that we do in our practice is really meant to fill your body and your mind with something positive, so avoiding pain or discomfort, and just really allowing this time for yourself and for what you need today. As you continue to breathe deeply, I invite you to set an intention or a dedication for your practice today. So something you want to kind of frame your practice around or focus on. Maybe there's something physical that needs attention. Maybe your mind needs a little bit of a break. So whatever that intention is, just bringing that into your heart, breathing into it. And then we'll take a couple more cleansing breaths. So inhaling deeply through the nose. Take a pause at the top of the in-breath. And then open the mouth, big heavy sigh, letting all the breath out. We'll do that again, inhaling through the nose. Pause at the top of the in-breath. Big, heavy sigh through the mouth. And then when you feel ready, you can start to make your way into tabletop. So hands and knees. We'll start with some big weight shifts around in a circular pattern. So you're just going to shift your hips and your body around in a clockwise direction a couple of times, kind of coming into the side bodies, the shoulder girdles, the hips, and then move in a counterclockwise direction. Kind of paying attention to any areas that maybe feel tight or restricted. And just doing that a few times. And coming back to that neutral spine. Let your belly drop down, look forward, come into cow. Relax your face. As you exhale, press away, rounding the back, coming into cat. And then just give your hips a shift from side to side. Couple of times each way. And then cycle through again. So inhale, drop the belly, look forward, cow. Exhale, press away, rounding the back, coming into cat. Shift your hips a few times if that feels good. And then cow pose as you inhale. Exhale, press away. Hip shifts if you'd like. And we'll do that a couple more times, just flowing with your breath. Inhale, drop the belly, look forward, cow. Exhale, tuck and round. one more time. Inhale, cow pose. Starting to warm the spine. Exhale, tuck and round, cat. And this time we'll come back to a neutral spine. We're gonna move into a C stretch. So I'd like you to walk your hands off your mat to the left. So taking a couple steps with your hands off to the left. You're gonna spread your fingers nice and wide and breathe in. On your exhale, you're gonna let your hips shift away from your hands. So you're starting to come into a stretch along the right side of the torso. And just kind of pause and breathe, not forcing any extreme movements here. Just kind of allowing that side body to expand. And then slowly bring your hips back to center. Walk your hands back onto the mat. And then move them off to the right side. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Take a breath in. As you exhale, you'll drop your hips away. So elongating the left side of the torso here. Breathing into that side body. And then slowly bringing your hips back to center. Walking your hands back to the mat. Coming back to a neutral spine. Thinking about bringing the top of your head forward, you'll shrug the shoulders down away from the ears and maintain just a slight drawing in of the low belly. On an inhale, send your left foot back, so toes will stay down on the mat. You'll pivot your heel down and come over to the outer edge of that foot, and then inhale the left arm up for modified half moon. So kind of reaching fingertips up to the ceiling, kind of being mindful of your shoulder over elbow over wrist position. If it's available to you, you can float that top leg. Option to reach back for the top of the foot and either draw the heel to the buttock or press the foot into the hand, opening up through the chest and the front of the hip. Gaze can be up or down, whatever feels best on your neck. Again, doing what works for your body. Good, float that lifted leg all the way up towards the ceiling. Just a gentle flex at the ankle, breathing in. And then as you exhale, you're gonna step that lifted leg all the way through. Coming down into low lunge. And then we'll take that left foot all the way out towards the long edge of the mat and kind of send your right knee back slightly. We'll bring both hands to the instep of the left foot for lizard pose or lizard lunge. So you can kind of press the left knee out to the side a little bit, kind of an inner thigh stretch. You can stay on a straight elbow here, or you can walk down to your forearms if that's available to you. If you're not warm enough in the hips at this point in the practice, that's fine. Just kind of do what feels good for you. Good, slowly bring that left foot back in. We'll walk the hands up the front thigh, low lunge, and then raise the arms up towards the ceiling, soften the shoulders, lift the gaze. And then as you exhale, you'll drop your left arm down and reach your right arm up and over. Just tip your chin so you're kind of looking down towards your left hand. Good, inhale, bring the arms all the way back up. Exhale, hands come to frame the foot. Step it back to tabletop and just shift your weight towards your hands and then back towards your heels a couple of times. Just kind of moving in maybe into that newfound hip range of motion. And then we'll come back to a neutral spine. Slowly drawing the navel in, shrugging the shoulders down. We'll send the right toes back. Pivot that heel down and then rotate over to your left knee and hand. So outer edge of the right foot is down. We'll float the right arm up to the ceiling, reach through the fingertips. Just being mindful of your shoulder over hand alignment on your bottom arm. If you do choose to float the top leg, you'll see that your shoulder will kind of float a little bit further over your wrist there, so just being mindful of that angle. Optional hip opener if that's available to you today. Gaze is up or down, whatever feels best for your neck. Continuing to breathe as you pause in each pose or asana today. If you chose to grab your foot, go ahead and release it, float the leg up, float the arm to the ceiling, breathe in. As you exhale, we'll take that lifted leg and step it all the way through for low lunge. Maybe pick up your back knee and just send it back slightly. And then we'll move both hands to the instep of the right foot and walk the right foot out to the side. Maybe rocking towards that outer edge of the right foot for lizard pose. Take a few deep breaths here. Kind of allowing the breath to flow around the hips where maybe you feel some tightness or some restrictions. And then we'll slowly walk that right foot back in. Take a hand on either side of the foot, and then walk your hands up your front leg. Settle in for that low lunge. Pressing the front of your left hip forward, release the right arm, take the left arm up and over for a nice side stretch, and then just tip your chin down slightly, looking down at your right hand. Pause and breathe, soft face and jaw. As you inhale, we'll reach the arms all the way up. As you exhale, set your hands down, curl your back toes under and step forward towards the top of your mat. We're going to walk our feet out so they're about the width of the mat with your toes turned slightly inward. So a little bit of a wider leg position here. Your hands can come to the floor, they can come to your shins or wherever they fall on your legs. But the heels will be slightly off the mat and your toes will be turned slightly in. And then just play with a little bit of weight shift here. So finding some length in the back of the thighs. Shifting your weight from toes to heels. Letting your head be heavy. We'll just bring both hands over towards the left ankle or the left shin. And just pause for a moment here, finding some length once again into the back of the thigh. Walk your hands back through the center, bring them over towards the right leg. Pause and breathe. Good, and then we'll slowly bring the hands back to the center. On an inhale, come up to a flat back as much as is available to you. So traditionally we may use a block for this kind of flat back monkey pose. But if you don't have a block, you could also just bring your hands to your shins. So you're flattening out the spine. If you have more flexibility in your hamstrings, you can keep your fingertips for the floor. Belly in. And then as you exhale, bend your knees a little bit and let your back round. Toe heel your feet in so they're hips distance apart. On your next in-breath, come up to that flat back again. Belly is in, reach through the tail. As you exhale, round and fold. Bend your knees as much as you need to here. Take your time, press into your feet, come all the way up. Raise your arms up over your head. And then as you exhale, we'll bring the hands to a steeple grip. Lift up through the rib cage and take a stretch to the right. Come back to center, breathe in, lengthen up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, stretch to the left. As you inhale, raise the arms all the way up. Spine lengthens. As you exhale, press the hands to heart center. Pause. Notice how you feel in standing. Blink your eyes closed if that's available to you. Just notice the weight shift from toes to heels or side to side. Notice how your weight is distributed. And when you're ready, blink your eyes open. Take mountain pose. Lengthen across the collarbones. Nice active standing posture. On an inhale, lengthen your arms up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, open the chest, elbows towards the side bodies. As you inhale, reach for the sky. As you exhale, forward fold, leading with your heart. Inhale, lift up to a flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bring your arms all the way up, look up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, open the heart. Inhale, reach. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands this time. Step it back to plank pose and pause. Breathe in. As you exhale, bring the knees to the mat, lower halfway. Chaturanga low push-up. Release to your tummy. Inhale, baby cobra. Lift your heart up. Exhale, downward facing dog. And we'll spend a little bit of time here in our first down dog. So take some pedals of the feet, kind of alternating, dropping the knees into the center one at a time. Just starting to feel some length in the back of the legs, the spine. Focus is going to be on reaching the sit bones up and back, and then just allowing the legs to follow. There's no expectations here, so you're going to do what feels right for your body today. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Think about turning the elbow creases towards each other. Looking forward, take a walk up to your hands. Breathe into a flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, press through the feet. Come all the way up. Look up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, open the chest. Inhale, reach. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank, pause, breathe in. From your toes to your knees, low push-up. Inhale, baby cobra, cobra, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, step it all the way through between your hands and walk your hands around to a wide leg forward fold. So you'll take the long way on your mat here. Spread your feet nice and wide. And your hands can either come to the floor, they can come to your ankles or your shins, whatever feels good. You want your feet to be roughly parallel to each other, maybe a slight toeing in. And then just allow your hands to kind of go wherever they fall. A little bit of weight shift from toes to heels. Let your head relax. We're going to stay here for a few breath cycles. Maybe pressing the weight a little bit further back towards your heels. Good. On an inhale, come up to that monkey pose, flat back position. So reach through your tailbone and your top of the top of your head. Pause and breathe. Send the weight back towards the heels. And then on an exhale, forward bend. This time, keeping your hands in the center, I want you to bring your heels more inward. Your toes turn slightly out. Bend your knees. Walk your hands up your thighs and come into goddess pose. So a couple of choices here with your arms. You can bring your hands to heart center. You can take them out to goalpost arms if that works for you. We'll do a little bit of opening through the hips. So just maybe play with shifting your weight from side to side. You're noticing some activation in your low belly. So slight tailbone tuck. And then come into center and breathe. Relax your face and jaw. Good. On an inhale, bring the hands to heart center. Exhale, hold, slightly drawing the navel in. As you inhale, send your arms straight ahead, palms up. As you exhale, send them out. Pull the shoulder blades together. Good. Breathe in. Exhale, hands to heart. Good. Again, inhale, send the arms forward, palms up to the sky. Exhale, open the chest, shoulder blades together. Breathe in. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. Take a breath in, come all the way up, straight through the knees, starfish pose. So open up your hands nice and wide. Pause and breathe. Then as you exhale, lower down again into your hips and knees, goddess pose. This time we'll take our hands and set them on the thighs. We're going to do a little bit of spine rotation here. So I want you to drop your left shoulder in, pressing your left knee out, and turn and look to the right. Good. Then come back to center, take a breath in, and switch sides. So turn and look to the left or the second side. Good. Slowly coming back to center, pausing here. Nice deep breath in, straightening the knees. Starfish pose one more time, taking up as much space as you can. And then as you exhale, turn towards the top edge of your mat. Windmill your hands all the way down. Step it back to plank. Take a breath in. As you exhale, halfway is chaturanga. Inhale, back bend of your choice. Exhale, downward facing dog. Always welcome to come to child's pose or another resting pose of your choice. Just kind of pausing here, pedaling out the feet, cleansing breath if you need it. And then we'll go ahead and breathe into the left leg, raise it up nice and high, and then we'll step it forward between the hands. Walk your hands around and come into that wide leg forward fold position again. So feet are pretty wide here. Relaxing the head and neck. Pausing and breathing. Toes are going to be turned slightly inward. And you can walk your hands back. If you have a lot of flexibility in your hamstrings, your hands might be on the floor. If you don't have a block but you need a little bit of extra support, you could also use a chair. So really just making this available to your body today. And then use your inhale to walk your hands a little bit more forward and come up to that flat back position for monkey pose. So weight is back towards your heels, reach through the tail and the top of the head. And then as you exhale, forward fold again. This time take your hands over to that left foot and just pause briefly. Feeling a little length again in the back of the thigh. And then walk your hands back through the center and move over towards your right ankle or your right shin. And then slowly come back to center. This time we'll turn the heels slightly inward. We'll turn the toes slightly out. Bend into your hips and knees. Walk your hands up your thighs and come into Goddess Pose. So choose what you'd like to do with your arms. The biggest thing here is that you don't want to dump into your low back. So slight tailbone tuck, just like you would for chair pose. Pause and breathe. And then just like you did the first time around, maybe a little bit of weight shift from one foot to the other. Just kind of bending into the hips and knees a little bit. Pause and breathe. And then settling into the center. Gaze is straight forward. Good. On an inhale, come up nice and tall in those knees. Starfish pose. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Take a breath in. Give your legs a little bit of a breather. And then as you exhale, settle back in. Goddess pose. This time, hands to heart. On an inhale, send the arms forward, palms up. As you exhale, shoulder blades pull together, your chest is open, palms to the sky. Breathe in. As you exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, send the arms out, palms up. Exhale, shoulder blades together, open the chest. Breathe in. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. As you inhale, starfish pose, straighten the knees, send the fingers and the hands nice and wide. Pause and breathe. As you exhale, one more time, lower down, this time hands to the thighs. Take a breath in. As you exhale, you'll press the right knee out to the side, drop the right shoulder in, turn and look back to the left. Spine twist. Pressing that right knee out to the side. Come back to center and take a breath in, switch. So press the left knee slightly out, drop the left shoulder in. Turn and gaze back to the right. One more time, come back to center, nice deep breath in, press both knees out to the side. Exhale, pause. And then inhale, straightening all the way up. One last time, starfish pose, fingers spread nice and wide. As you exhale, turn towards the top edge of your mat, windmill your hands down to the mat, and find plank pose. Take a breath in. As you exhale, halfway is chaturanga. Inhale, back bend of your choice. Exhale, downward facing dog. And then release to child's pose or extended child's pose. Take a couple of cleansing breaths here, yogis. And just kind of reconnect with that intention that you set for your practice today. And just take a little bit of time here just to check in with yourself. So how are you feeling? How does your body feel? Are there areas in your body that you've neglected through the practice that need a little bit of extra attention? So keep that in mind. And then when you're ready, go ahead and take a seat on your mat. We're going to do a little bit of core stability here today. So we'll take some variations of boat pose. So we'll have the soles of the feet on the mat. We're going to float the palms up. Let your shoulders fall behind your hips. So you're kind of in a slightly reclined position, but not relaxing or softening through the low back. So chest is lifted. If it's available to you, you're going to float one leg. Lower leg is parallel to the floor. You can hold there, that's your choice. Or you can try floating the second side. If it's available to you, you can lift your arms up, or you can straighten your knees. So there's lots and lots of choices for the practice. Pause and breathe. As you exhale, we'll release one leg at a time. Good, arms back to parallel to the floor, palms up to the ceiling. And then as you inhale, lengthen all the way up. As you exhale, come down to your back. Next up, we're gonna take another version of boat, low boat. So a couple of choices here. This is not available to everybody, so if it's not available to you, that's perfectly fine. So low boat is going to be floating your legs and your arms up, kind of reaching your fingertips for your feet. If you have any extra pressure or low back pain and that doesn't work for you, you could also only float your chest and your arms up, or you could try doing one leg at a time, okay? And then we're gonna flip over and do some work on our stomach as well. So as you're ready, any of those choices, on an inhale, you're gonna float up. Try lifting your feet, your chest, your arms. Pause and breathe, low boat. And then as you exhale, slowly release. Roll over to your stomach. Arms can be at your sides or up overhead. On an inhale, we'll float everything off the floor. So arms reach up towards the ceiling, thumbs up. Float your legs. Relax your face. And as you exhale, slowly release down. Go ahead and come to your forearms. Lift your chest up and make your way to Sphinx Pose. So nice passive stretch through the belly. Relax your face. And as you exhale, slowly release down and make your way back to your back. Once you're on your back, we'll draw the knees into the chest and just massage out the low back. And when you're ready, just slowly allow your knees to drop to either side. We'll take the arms out to a T shape or close to a T shape and look opposite your knees. So if your knees are to the right, turn and look to the left. Couple of nice deep breaths into that left side body. Maybe blinking your eyes closed here if that feels good. Just start to slow things down again as we prepare for our final relaxation. When you're ready, one knee at a time, back up to center, gaze up towards the ceiling. Take a breath in with the knees in. And as you exhale, we'll let the legs fall to the left. Turn the gaze to the right. Couple of nice breaths here. Slowly bring your head back up to center, knees come back in. Take a moment to scan your body. Notice any additional poses that you might want to take right now to complete your practice. And then whenever you're ready, making your way into your final Shavasana. So take a little bit of time to do anything else your body might need. And then settling in. And if you're not comfortable on your back, feel free to roll to either side. But we'll tuck the shoulder blades underneath us. Let your feet and ankles relax and fall out towards the long edges of your mat. Allow your eyes to close or lower your gaze. Let your heart be open. Your mind and body still for a few moments. Take a cleansing breath. Deep inhale through the nose. Big, heavy sigh through the mouth. Settle in. Let your body be still. Your mind at peace. Allow your body to feel supported. Taking a pause here. Taking a moment of gratitude for coming to your mat this afternoon, for dedicating this time for self-care.